Notification. Notification. And we are live. I want to thank everyone for tuning in to a very special edition of Off the Record on the People's Podcast this afternoon. We have an amazing guest with us for our first time on a serious topic one-on-one. Our brother Ronald Muhammad, all the way from Phoenix, Arizona. First of all, assalamu alaikum, sir.
Wa alaikum salam, black man. What's going on, King?
Hard work. Naima says, peace, family. Thank everybody for tapping in today as we talk to Brother Ronald about your life's journey. You have a very interesting life, and we look forward to getting some information as well as some inspiration from you. The first thing we would like to know is, who are your parents, sir?
Ooh, uh, the PG answer, or like you, the beautiful brother Randolph and sister Deborah Muhammad, from Los Angeles, California, now residing in Phoenix, Arizona. My real life heroes. You know what I mean? A lot of people give credit to people that never really had involvement with them, but without my parents, I don't know what I'd be doing. And you know, I want to turn this TV off.
Okay. Thank you for watching the football game right now, doing the
You know
interview.
what I'm saying?
What makes your parents your heroes?
Um, my parents are like everybody's parents. They had their flaws, they got their, their issues, whatever. My parents have been together my whole life. Everybody's personal journey is different. So if you talk to my older siblings, my dad has children from a previous marriage, they might have a whole nother story about my father. But for me personally, they've been together. I always tell my parents I'm the reason why they got their life together. Uh, I was born in 1983. My parents started their own business in 1983. So it's like, y'all knew what it was. That's the first time they started buying Cadillacs and nice homes and stuff. They knew that they had put something special into the world. So they had to get their stuff together. You know what I mean? But my parents have been married for, like I said, all of my life. I don't know the right numbers because I'm not a number person, but 40 some years, something like that. Been together longer than that. And they are the staple of my family on both sides. My family, my parents are the only ones out of all my aunties that are still together. Um, my other auntie and uncle who passed away, they were still together, but they were the only ones who kept the marriage for their situation together. Not to judge nobody else's situation, but they were kind of the rock of the family to go to when it came to stuff like that. We were always hosting events and always, we were that household that if somebody needed something, they would come to my family. So I always saw my father, step up to the plate and not just take care of his children, but the family's children as well. Even when it was a hindrance to us, you know what I'm saying? Even if it took off our plate, he made sure everybody else in the family was good. So that always was inspirational to me. And my mother is the most loving, kind, can't nobody do nothing wrong unless your name is Ronald. Then you can do all kind of wrong stuff. But she's the emotional, she's the crier. Oh, brother Josh, how you doing? You been doing crack? Oh, brother, it's okay. You'll get over it. Like, that's the kind of woman she is. Like, she's not judging nobody. She might talk about you when you leave. Like, he's doing crack. I don't know if you should hang out with him. But in that moment, she's the sweetest, nicest lady in the world. And she's always been about family and keeping our family together. Like, my mother made a bond and a friendship with my dad's first wife, his ex-wife. So that me and my siblings never felt like we weren't together, weren't a unit, never apart. She's emotional to the point where, my niece, who's not my mother's grandchild, can make a post and say, oh, something about her actual grandmother. And my mama get emotional, like, oh, she don't think about me like that too. You know what I'm saying? Not that my niece does it, but that's the way my mother is. And she's always just made sure she's kept everybody together, kept peace, kept love in the center of what we do. To her detriment sometimes. Most of us want her to get a little angry every now and then and cuss somebody out, but that's just not her style. But when she does, don't get it twisted. It will come out every now and then. Sister Deborah will have a moment, and when it comes out, it's going to be something that makes no sense at all. I mean, literally, I could steal the car. I could have a house party, nothing. And then one day I will leave the milk on the counter and she will flip, and all kind of cuss words that ain't never been heard out of her mouth will come out, and you know what I'm saying? But love them to death.
Beautiful, beautiful. I look forward to meeting your parents one day. What did your parents do in their raising you? What techniques will you keep, and what techniques won't you keep?
I raised myself. Okay, so this is where I guess Islam comes into play. Between 1983 when I was born and 1990, I don't really remember much. We was whatever. I was a kid, whatever. In 1990, my grandmother, Miss Ella Daniels, Los Angeles long resident, called my mother and father after watching Minister Farrakhan like on CNN or something. And she said, I think I just found Jesus. And so my parents was like, oh my God, let me go save this woman. What is she talking about? Thinking that she was, caught up with some TV evangelist or whatever. And they started listening to the minister. They both went to the mosque. They both stood up at the same time. That's their story on how they found Islam. So at 7 years old, whatever my parents was rocking with, I'm rocking with. They came to the house one day. I'll never forget. It's funny how you remember certain things. I didn't care. I don't remember pork or beer or nothing like that, but I just remember them pouring all the stuff down the drain and throwing it all out there. I just knew a change was in the atmosphere, But to my parents' credit, they took us to the mosque. They bought us the suits. We went to Savior's Day. They never forced Islam on me and my siblings. They never, this is what it is. That was what we were practicing and learning when we were little, when we had no choice. But when we came of age, it was never like, you better go to the mosque or get out of my house. Or there was nothing never like that. They always gave us the choice. And my mother is very, she's a teacher by nature. So she's very, what do you call it when you got to show your work in math? She's checking all the receipts. Okay, Islam said this. Let me get the Bible. Let me see what that says. Let me get the Torah and see what this says. Let me get the Hindu book and see, she's going to check all the receipts. I remember my mom telling me that in the earlier days, my father used to own a restaurant and we used to have all the minister's tapes for sale. And my mother used to tell me how she would sneak and watch the FOI men's only meetings just to make sure that it wasn't nobody saying nothing crazy, in the meetings, you know what I'm saying? So that's just who my mother is by nature. By nature, she is, I'm doubling down on everything that we're going off, you know what I'm saying? So for us as children, they gave it to us and presented us in a way that it was palatable, but not forced. And so growing up, there were times where we lived in Riverside, California, which is about, with traffic, 2 hours away from Los Angeles on a good day, 45 to an hour and 15 minutes. So we didn't go to the MUI growing up. That was, wasn't feasible for us. So on Sundays and stuff, when we would go, Pops decided to take us out on a Monday night for FOI class, make that journey out there to LA or whatever. As a youngster, you kind of wanted that. I want to be a part of that. Why can't I go to that school? Or why can't I, you know what I'm saying? Literally, I was going to an all-white school in Riverside, California. And when I say all white, 98.9% white and maybe a black brother here or there. I don't even know if there was any Mexicans in my elementary school. You know what I mean? So we, mind you, I'm loudmouth. I'm just like I am right now. Nothing's changed. I just got taller and bigger. I'm walking around in third grade calling people Caucasians and telling them they from the Caucasus Mountains and, saying y'all the graphic devil. This is, so my mother was always paranoid and scared that I was going to go on a field trip and get kidnapped. Literally, she wouldn't let me go on field trips. Nah, you the kind of kid they leave places and say, you know what happened. So she would take the day off work and take me to the movies or something while everybody else was at the field trip because she'd be scared I couldn't go. I yearn for Islam. Not so much Islam, I won't lie. I learned for that structure and that camaraderie between, Black people, whatever. Yeah. And then, you go back to reality, which is your, regular old lily white neighborhood. And back in the 90s, Khaled was calling them the blue-eyed honky devils and all this. And I'm looking Tim is cool. He like video games like I like video games. We both playing football and stuff. But yeah, I guess his nature is devil. You know what I mean? But you don't know that. My parents never went left. They never went militant. They were stern, they were real, and they always taught me who I was. So it didn't matter who they were. Like, it doesn't matter who anybody else is because you're God. So I always understood that early. You know what I mean? So I guess what I try to instill in my children that my parents gave me is that, like, it doesn't matter what nobody else on the planet is. If you're God, why would that matter? Why would it make a difference who did what or what they not doing? You know what I mean? So I think that's my focus.
Okay, excellent. And thank you for your transparency. My sister Mimi and Naima are sending their love. And Jared, Mino says Riverside was pretty nice, not far from Chino, right? Question mark. I don't know what that means.
Chino, California. No, it's not too far. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Chino's a city in Cali.
Okay, yes, sir. So when I saw you, and as in 2012, you were doing security for Minister Farrakhan in Chicago. What was it like for you doing? You got to see the minister more than most of us, especially once I moved to Atlanta because of Phoenix. What was it like being in such close proximity to the minister?
All right, so this is me and Josh talking, so I got to be honest. It was a the self-accusing spirit would always kick in. I didn't understand why. Like, literally, when the minister came to Phoenix, I was a student lieutenant at the time. We went through some turmoil in Phoenix and things that happened, and there was like a whole new staff. So I kind of was probably in a position that maybe I wasn't prepared for or ready for just yet. And literally the reason it happened was because I had a car. Like, that is the basis of my why my qualifications. It was like, oh, brother got a car, okay, cool. So the student captain at the time didn't have a vehicle, and the minister came in town and we needed to run some routes the night before, for whatever he's doing the next day. So he asked me to take him, and Brother Tada, the great Brother Tada from the E team, came out and he said, brother, he was talking to the student captain. He was like, brother, you know the city pretty well? And he was like, oh, I just been here a couple months, but brother does. And he looked at me and he said, well, congratulations, brother. You're now part of the Honorable Ms. Louis Farrakhan's motorcade. So now I'm like, what? Like, what does that mean exactly? So literally running routes, you know how the brothers is on the E team, they breaking my balls, giving me a hard time, but going through the routes or whatever. So the next morning, my assignment was to show up at the National House, 7 a.m. and wait for instructions. And from there, that's just how it worked. You know what I'm saying? The honor and the privilege of working with the brother Rashads, the brother Melvins, the D9s, the brother Marks, Timothy. I'm sure I'm forgetting the brother, brother out of LA, old school brother. You've interviewed him a couple times. He gonna be mad at me. He probably gonna call me for not remembering his name right now. But just beautiful working with them beautiful brothers, man, and understanding that when we would, Josh, you a soldier. Growing up as a kid, that's all you wanted if you wanted to be in the nation. Like, some people looked up to gangsters, some people looked up to rappers, some people looked up to football players, basketball players. Outside of my hoop dreams, I just wanted to be with the minister. Like, I don't even know if I understood what that meant. I just wanted to be in the crispiest black suit with a bow tie on, standing behind him. I don't know what I was going to do, why I was there, but I just wanted to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, the coldest memory I have is 1995 and the brothers walking down the steps with the minister. I wanted to be in that, that diamond. I know what it is now. I didn't know what it was then. I wanted to be that. You know what I'm saying? So having those opportunities was, amazing. But it's like, okay, the self-accusing spirit kicks in, and I need to qualify myself, immediately. Like, let's, So, step it up. And it's interesting, man, because I have so many fond memories that at the time I thought were real rough, but now I look back on them and smile at them. You know what I'm saying? I kind of understand better what they was. So yeah. Although Brother Josh, he's a celebrity in the nation. He act like he's not. That's not the first time me and Brother Josh met, brother. I had met Brother Josh. Now, mind you, I don't remember that he's Brother Josh. I remember that he's the Supreme Captain's son. I had met Brother Josh, I don't know, 93-ish or something like that. We was all junior FOIs running around Chicago, acting like we was doing something. We had walkie-talkies. We had checked him out at McCormick. We was all talking on the radios. And me and Josh exchanged numbers. And the only reason I really remember this is because he was the Supreme Captain's son. And the only reason I even remember that was because my parents was upset about something at the mosque one day. And I looked at him and I was like, well, we can call the Supreme Captain. And they was like, no, what? You can't just call the Supreme Captain. And I was like, I got his number. Like, I'm flexing now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got the house number. What you mean? So that ain't the first time me and Josh met.
Okay, thank you. Part me for that. Remember the story. All right. Brother Joseph says agrees. Aisha, who's not watching the Falcons beat her Bears right now, says, I see you, Ronald. And she says, ASA family. Walaikum salam, Aisha.
Walaikum salam.
My next question is, speaking of hoop dreams, what was it like chasing a career of being a basketball player in Phoenix?
So I can't. I would love to tell the story like I chased a career, but Brother Ronald brother, what's that movie with the brother that was supposed to be better than Jordan but never even did nothing with it, Earl Manigault? That was kind of my hoop dream stories. I was the hooper that never got on the court because I was always in trouble or switching schools. I'm not even gonna say switching schools. I was always in trouble. So every year it was, if you get your grades right, you can play. And I'd be like, man, I don't care about these grades. So I would try real hard until, December when basketball season came around. And then I'm like, all right, whatever. It was back to normal. So the next year, you know what I'm saying? So literally my high school year, I moved out here at the end of my 8th grade year from Arizona. I moved out from California to Arizona. And in 9th grade, I went to Highland High School, which is my parents love to be around white people. Another all-white school, 99.9% white. Couple brothers there, I can't lie. And I go to basketball practice, and the Boston Celtics general manager now, Danny Ainge, former Phoenix Suns player, his sons go to Highland, and they're guards, like I'm a guard. So I go to practice and all that, and he's like, yeah, you can make the team, but you'll be like third string. You'll be playing behind the Angels. So this is where my Khalid Muhammad kicked in, and I was like, ain't no white man better than me in basketball. So I didn't play my freshman year like an idiot, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not sitting behind no white man. Okay, I got to live my truth. Austin Ainge and Tanner Ainge. Austin was nice, went to BYU, great basketball player. Tanner was trash. Ain't no way I should have been behind him. That was politics because of whose dad was, but whatever. So the next year, there's a new school opening up, Mesquite High School. I go to Mesquite High School because it's just freshmen and sophomores. So in my head, I'm like, we're going to get smashed by everybody else. But when I play Highland, I'm giving them 50. Like, that was my whole mindset. That's the only reason why I'm going there. I'm guaranteed varsity. I can't wait. Literally, the week of basketball tryouts, I get into a fight with some dude from Kansas City who didn't want to be in Phoenix no more. And if he got in trouble, he got to go back home. So some drama happened. So the reality was, the kid hit me. This is my punctified story. Josh gonna look at me like this is my story. Josh gonna look at me like I'm messing the man if I tell him this one. So literally, all that's in my head is basketball. I could care less about nothing else. The kid hit me. The kid was like a midget too. Like, oh my God. So the kid hit me, and I was like, "Are you crazy?" And I grabbed him, and I didn't do nothing because I didn't want to get in trouble to play basketball. Mind you, my pops didn't play that at all. So I won't say what he said exactly, but there was a whole lot of choice words about letting somebody put their hands on me and not putting their hands on them back. And I don't give a death about basketball and whoop, like he was going off on me. Now, this is where the school setup comes in, and this is why we got to get our children in our own schools. So I go to the office. Thank you for not fighting back. Good job, blah, 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 blah. All right, cool. The next day during basketball tryouts, or the day of tryouts, they call me to the office and say that I'm suspended for 3 days. Basketball trials are 3 days. I can't come on campus for 3 days. Yeah. So I told them this, mind you, in the like, why didn't I hit them back when they asked me the story? They told me they suspended me for aggravating the fight is what they said. So those who do know me, I'm in the office flipping stuff over like, the hell with this school, I'm hot. You know what I'm saying? So my pops comes and picks me up and basically looks at me and is like, that's exactly what you get. Like, don't ever let nobody put their hands on you again. Like, whoop, whoop, whoop. Life lessons that sophomore year. Literally, I dropped out of school and went to work in my mom and dad's office and just stacked up my paper for the rest of the year. So then I got to go to junior year. I got to make up my credits, of course. So now I go to what they call alternative school. Now they're really big, but back then that was kind of a new thing. So I go to this alternative school, Sun Valley High School, which is like, I'm a very smart individual. I just don't like doing work. But they were like, yo, you can get a credit every 45 days here. So I felt like I was the valedictorian because there was a bunch of easy stuff and I was just knocking it out. Now I'm at alternative school in love and I'm getting out at 12 o'clock and I'm making my credits up. I'm happy as a lark, right? So I'm good. So my plan is to go back to Highland my senior year to play basketball. Literally caught up on everything and went above when I was at the alternative school. I had a four class schedule at Highland. All I had to take was English, and then the rest of it was weightlifting, ceramics, and cooking. Like I had, you know what I'm saying? I had to just fill it up with electives to get it done. And my boy called me from Sun Valley, the alternative school, and was like, yo, we starting a basketball team this year. You should come back. So even though I was ready to go at Highland, I went back because I don't like school and whatever. I just want to hoop. Dumbest mistake ever because the season didn't even count. Like we went to the championship and lost to the championship. The season didn't even count because it was our probational year. Like I didn't even know you had to have a probational year, and it was stupid. So whatever. So yeah, my hoop dreams is I'm a hoop legend in the rec centers in the courts. My high school days went what they supposed to. But if you ask anybody in the city of Phoenix that really hoop, they know they got that. I got that respect out here. Don't get it twisted.
Okay, yeah. Well, I've seen some of the comments on your Facebook page. A lot of people talk about you playing basketball. Delana Marie Johnson says she remembers your hoop dreams, and she also sends love. Okay, well, how did you go from?
She put an LOL at the end of that. She's trying to be funny, Dad. Don't try me, Marie. Don't do it. Matter of fact, I think no, she didn't go to West Phoenix. I'm about to say we lost to West Phoenix in that championship. That might have been her school, but she didn't go to West Phoenix.
Okay, but no, what I was going to say is, how did you go from alternative school, being kicked out, to now working in the school system, being an educator and coaching? How did that happen?
So look, man, there's two things that I owe apologies to that I'm never going to make because I'm not going to do the work. But if I can go back to all of my teachers, I would apologize. And if I can go back to all of the referees I've ever cussed out playing basketball, I would apologize because I didn't realize how difficult it was. So there's no way in the world you would have ever told me I was going to be a teacher. Like, I don't even know. I don't even like saying it now. I'm a PE coach. Like, I don't even like saying I'm a teacher because of the stigma that I had about teachers and whatnot in the educational system. But I've always been good with youth. Since I was a kid, I was good with kids. Like, I don't know how that works. So literally, I went back to California when I turned 18 for like a year. And then when I moved back to Phoenix, I was, job searching or whatever. And I had found this gig. It was funny because this is, I guess I'm old now for real. I'm about to be 40 in 3 years. But this is back in the day where it wasn't no jobs.com and all that. It was newspapers. And I'm looking in the classified section for a job. So there was two jobs. One was like the director of a rec center. That's what I want to do. I'm about to go in there and get my jump shot right. Absolutely. That's what I want to do. Applied for it. And then the other one next to it was like working with at-risk youth at a group home. But it wasn't worded like that. I didn't know what I was getting myself into. They made it sound all fun and stuff, like activity coordinator or something. So I was like, all right, this sounds cool. So, of course, the rec center didn't hire me, but the group home did. So I'm 18 years old, and I literally would go to work on Friday morning at 8 a.m. and get off Monday morning at 8 a.m. Like I would live there, and I was working, no lie, with a 17-year-old, a 16-year-old, and like two 15-year-olds. Like they were my age. You know what I'm saying? Like it was ridiculous how they said I was an adult. Come to find out later on, I wasn't supposed to be hired till I was 21, but they messed it up. I'm not tripping. I got my paper. But so I'm working with these kids. Like literally, it's a kid named Ronnie Jordan. And me and him used to go at it. He used to think he was Jordan. He was nice, a little hooper. We used to go at it. Like I used to really like go on the weekends and take him to the rec center. That's what we would do. We would hoop. But that started my journey working with group homes, and started managing group homes. Started running facilities and whatnot. Worked at treatment centers, and then I ended up working at a school as a like a behavioral tech for the classes that for children that have, I don't want to say special needs, but behavior issues. Like literally there'll be a teacher and then there'll be like two techs in there. So if something ever happened, we would be there to intervene and step in. So working with those kids gave me the school background. And then I had an incident where I don't work there no more. So after that incident, I started substitute teaching because my partner, the messenger set up friends for us all walks of life. I got a partner named Muhammad Samari, who is not a Muslim, but he's from Africa. and he's just a solid brother, good dude. And he hit me up. He hit me up initially about coaching volleyball for his girls at the school he was at. So I was like, I don't know nothing about volleyball, but whatever, cool, whatever. So then his wife was a principal at another school and asked me to start substitute. Well, actually, he asked me to substitute first for him because he was going to Africa for a week. So he asked me to substitute his PE class. So I was like, all right, cool, did that. Then I started substituting with his wife at her school. And so literally summer came, ain't no work, substitute, I'm kind of just grinding. Those that know, my children's mother passed away. So working in the group homes, I've always been one of them people that step out on faith. No matter what I'm going through, I don't think twice about it if it ain't right. So when my children's mother passed away, working in the group homes, I was literally working 3 to 11, 2 to 10s, you know what I'm saying? So basically they would be in school, I would be home. And then when they get home, I would be going somewhere. And I'm like, they just lost their mama. They can't lose me too. That's not going to work no more. So I kind of gave the group home thing up in that manner. And I'm sitting at home and I get a Facebook message from my man, Samari. And he was like, yo, you want to be the PE teacher? I was like, yeah, like, all right, cool. So went in, knocked it out. Wasn't even on interview. My dude, like, just plugged me straight up. And now this is my second year working with them, coaching. I coach volleyball there. I coach basketball there. I run the after school program. I mean, it's learning, growing up in the mosque and growing up in FOI class. Leadership is naturally in us. So it's not hard to step in these kind of roles of people service. You know what I'm saying? Whenever you're servicing people, it's easy to do. So it's been a great fit. Now, actually, my partner, he's no longer the assistant principal. He's the principal now. And there you have it. Somehow I'm a teacher.
Beautiful. That's an excellent story. Now,
if you plan on bringing your children to my school, I do be kids just for the
now, let's just go ahead, Brother Ronald. Now, my next question is, you spoke of your wife and her passing. How, I didn't see that growing up a lot besides on television, men, raising their children by themselves, like single father type situations going on. How have you been able to do that? Because according to social media and my interactions, you've been doing it.
So just to clarify, I don't want nobody to mistake my words. Ex-wife, we were broken up for about 10 years before she passed. Okay. So, I don't want nobody to think it was the hard part. That was the hard part, though. When you break up with somebody for 10 years, even though you have love for them, it didn't affect me as much as it did my children. So honestly, and I think me and you talked about this, Josh, I may have never even grieved from that situation because it's 100% been about my babies. They lost their mother, you know what I'm saying? So for me, I got to make sure I don't say nothing to get in trouble. It's a bittersweet situation because as a single father, I wanted my kids full time, which is not never saying I wanted it that way. Don't never get my words misconstrued. But it was like, as they got older, going into the world, I definitely wanted to be more hands-on. That's just the person I am. I work with kids every day. How am I not work with my own? You know what I'm saying? So I love the fact that I have them full time. It's not even a, oh, this is extra work, or oh, this is harder than I thought. No, there's not a moment of that in my mind. Speaking of my parents earlier, excuse me, I have the absolute greatest support system in the world. So there's nothing I can't do because again, the person that my mother is, she ain't gonna ask no questions. It could be 3 o'clock in the morning. If I drop them off at the door, she's gonna open it, no questions asked. So that part has always been able to help me with, anything I've got going on outside of my world, my promotional business or whatever. If I got, trips to make, if I'm in Atlanta hanging out with Josh, he's trying to get me to go to Magic City and stuff, but I won't go. It's not my life. But so because of that support system, my parents always, that's always been able to help. The difficult part is I have a daughter. My son just sounds crazy. I know he needs his mother, of course, but that's easy. I get it. No problem. Some basketball shorts, a t-shirt, some Nikes we can rock all day. It's nothing. My daughter, I'm in a world where booty shorts is cute. Well, it's not cute in my house. So no, don't want that, even though that's what the world's telling you to want. And it's easy to say, Dad, you just don't understand because you're not a girl. And it'd be supportive for her mom to say, yeah, girl, you ain't wearing that too, because she's a girl, but I don't have that support. You know what I'm saying? Going through her menstrual cycle, going through her boyfriend phase. We were talking a couple years ago, Kelly Oubre for the Phoenix Suns, and she was like, he's cute. And I just was like, oh, I never heard you say a boy was cute before. Like, these are the kind of dudes you like, this little green eye. I'm a Suns fan, so now I don't like Kelly Oubre no more. You know what I'm saying? So going through that, you know what I'm saying, is the difficult part. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, I absolutely love my children to death. They're my two best friends. They're my, as the Facebook joke says, my two broke best friends. They always need something, of course. But I wouldn't change it for the world, man. And like I said, my heart is for them and their mother. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't, as FY's trained, brother, we meet and overcome all obstacles. It is what it is.
Praise me to a lot.
1 second, let me.
Okay, Ronald's going to cry. Sister,
get out of here, bro. I stopped crying about this years ago.
Naima says, okay, go ahead, Brother Ronald. Mimi says, that's beautiful. Sister Rabia says, thank a lot for our support system. And then they were laughing at one of the jokes that you made. Okay, speaking of support system, how hard is it being looking for love in 2020 when you have children to deal with, to raise?
How hard is it looking for love in 2020 when you have children? I mean, I think looking for love in 2020 is hard, period. I think, Josh, I feel like the sisters was in the comments. I had said a lot of positive things, and now you're trying to set me up. You're trying to make them turn against me. I think looking for love in 2020 is hard, period. It is hard because of my children, because, well, no, I got to be honest. I've had my phases where I wasn't looking for love, so it didn't matter. You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to meet my children. I don't care what your moral compass is. But now, because of that, it definitely takes a part. Like, like I said, the world we live in, the Instagram models are famous, and twerking is cool, and, bisexuality is cool, and, you know what I'm saying? So a woman's moral compass, we look up to people. The reason why R. Kelly, Bill Cosby, whatever, whoever's involved in whatever, the reason it hurts so much is because you look up to these people. So to see them, quote unquote, not perfect, which no one is, of course, but to see them not perfect, it hurts you. So when you're looking as a child and you look up and go, hey, this is the standard of what this is, or this is the standard of what that is, or whatever, if I'm telling my truth. In the story of my parents, my mother is the angel and my father is the rehabilitated, working towards angel. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so, what, just being honest about my story. I'm not disrespecting nobody else. I'm just telling my story. My father did cheat on my mother back in the day. My father did have physical altercations with my mother back in the day, years and years ago. Nothing, anytime I remember in my lifetime, but maybe when I was like 5 or something, whatever. And by the grace of Allah, he's not like that. He's changed. Islam didn't change him. He's grown to a man and become a wonderful example. But my mother, I never seen her act out. I've never seen her with another man. I never seen her entertain another man. I never seen her entertain the thought of leaving. I never, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't even in her compass. It wasn't in her code. So, when things happen nowadays and, you see a beautiful couple, I got a lot of friends that have been married for years. And not to excuse any bad behavior, but when you see somebody put 5, 10, 15 years in, and then something stupid happens and you give up on it, it's a sign of weakness to me, because you got to meet and overcome all obstacles. Like I said earlier, like, you know what I'm saying? Whatever you're going through, and everybody's steps to go get over it is different. I'm not telling nobody to stay with nobody that's being abused. I'm not telling nobody to stay that's getting cheated on. That's not what I'm saying. I'm also saying, though, when I went through my divorce, if I told the story, I can blame her all day and look like the innocent victim. if I gave the details, I understand where I played just as much of a part, even though she might have had the bigger actions. You know what I'm saying? So the details always make a difference. You get to the story of a person and their situation, and you can see what it is. Or excuse me, the details, and you can see what it is. So, you know, my mother, trying to find a woman to live up to that standard is difficult. At the same time, trying to find a woman to, because there's things about my mother that I wouldn't want my daughter to be. Like, I wouldn't want my daughter to be such a nice, for lack of a better word, pushover type person. My mama, you know what I'm saying? That's just who she is. Like, you know, as a kid growing up, you know what you can do. My dad can be like, no, you can't have $50, but I knew I can go get it from my mama, even though that she knew that he said no. But the kind of person my mama is, she would know that he said no. She would tell me not to say nothing, but within a day or two, she would tell him herself, because she's not going to keep lying. That's just not who, that her code is different. Her character is different. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Trying to find that in 2020, oh my God, whatever. Like it's very difficult, very, very difficult. But I think more so, I don't know if I'm trying to find love or if I'm trying to better the love in myself. You know, one thing, when I was going through my divorce, I was upset one day and I was angry. And I was talking to the great brother Ghazi, who you interviewed earlier.
Yes, sir.
And I told him, you know, I was just venting to the brother. And I was like, man, ain't no Islam in that, sister. And he looked at me and he said, if ain't no Islam in her, then ain't no Islam in you. Because ain't no way you can have Islam in you and it not be in her. And y'all been together for 5 years. So I had to check myself again. You know what I'm saying? Like, so the details is what matters, man. I'm a firm believer that if I'm correct, again, if I'm God, it really don't matter who you are. You know what I'm saying? And the key is to find a God that's equally yoked and similar in ideas. There's going to be bumps. There's going to be bruises. There's going to be things you disagree with. There's going to be, you know, different musical choices and selections. You got to pick and choose your battles, man, and what's important. And then the battles that you feel like, one thing that I think that we do too often is the battles that we feel like we disagree on, we'll argue about them, but we won't teach or educate on why they are what they are. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, just as an example, let's say you dating somebody not in the nation, not Muslim, and they want to do Christmas or whatever. That's a big step for people to say either, yeah, I'm gonna celebrate Christmas, or oh no, I'm not gonna celebrate Christmas. Even I've been doing those things my whole life. But when you understand that, or when you educate that Christmas is supposed to be about Jesus, and I don't want to celebrate Santa Claus. So if you're telling me I'm gonna compromise with a sister and say I'm gonna celebrate Christmas as long as we celebrate Jesus, and what would Jesus do? Jesus would be feeding the flock, or Jesus would be doing family time. Like, we got to stop acting like it would be that big of a deal to go to dinner with somebody's family on Christmas Day. Most of us do it anyway. We just lie about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that doesn't, but we want to go so hard. We're not going to celebrate no Christmas in my house. I ain't about to walk in no house with no mistletoe. What is that pagan holiday? like, you know what I'm saying? And like, you know, it ain't that deep sometimes. You know what I mean? So sometimes we really got to pick and choose our battles on what it is, because you can deal with somebody who got a great moral compass, but maybe not have the education that we might have as Islam, that we might have received from Islam.
Beautiful. Okay, excellent, Ronald. Teacher. All right, so Naima says teach. Sister Letitia says teach. Sister Yvonne Muhammad says right. Sister Rabia says preach. Sister Organic Poet says she's here. Everybody saying preach. Sister Yvonne Muhammad says so proud of you. You're doing a good job. That's
Auntie
right.
That's right. Assalamu alaikum.
Beautiful. That's the truth. Pick your battles, says Sister Latita Barnes says that's the truth. Pick your battles. Okay. My next question for you, Ronald, is what?
Wait, Josh. Just because I gotta be me. There's a lot of sisters in here talking about teach and pick your battles. Y'all gotta pick y'all's too now. Look. I'm talking to the brothers. That's my job to talk to the men. But sisters, hold on now. We don't know. Let's not mistake what this is right now. Go ahead. I'm just playing. Go ahead.
Oh, God.
I'm just saying. Sisters always find an excuse to be like, it's okay. He got tattoos and he gangbang, but he gonna change. Like, you got to pick your battles too now. I'm just saying. Y'all don't know him like I know him. I love y'all.
David said Ronald was about to ruin it, and then Sister Latika B. Bar says, duh. Sister Rabia said, me says, duh. Sister Latika says, stop it. All right, my next question for you is, thank you for that, Ronald, is you, I met you at one of your events that you threw in Atlanta. How did you get into event planning and started promoting your businesses?
Shout out to my boy, Rod Smith, my brother. Literally, Allah has always put me in a position that I don't try to be in. I think that's one of the reasons why I've been able to, I don't know if I'm blessed or live a decently blessed life, but I don't be trying to do none of that stuff. I've never really been a promoter or where that came from. Literally, I was coming from off a divorce. We were at a mutual friend's house and we was chopping it up and he was telling me what he did or whatever. And we exchanged information. Matter of fact, we were both supposed to be in a wedding. By the way, the wedding never happened. Sorry about that. But we were supposed to be groomsmen in a wedding. And that's how we met. And one night he was going out or whatever. And he's like, yo, let's link up, whatever. And we started kicking it tough and just became real good friends. So I used to help him with his events and I would just help. I would just be like, I got you, whatever you need. Cool, I'll help you, whatever. And literally for 2-3 years, we would be rocking like that. And Josh, you know me, I'm a very, I don't know the other word to use, I'm an asshole. So like we would go places and like he'd be like, oh, this is Ron, he's with BMW. And I'd be like, stop saying that. Like I'm not with BMW. Like I'm your friend. I'm here helping. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't really pay me. Like, nah, that's not what we're doing. You know what I'm saying? Well, he was like, well, I'll pay you. Don't worry about it. And I was like, nah, I don't really want to work for you. So that's not gonna work either. Like, I just don't mind being your friend. When you get business involved, it changes things, So we had a real conversation. He was telling me how he could use my help and do some different things. He is a master of negotiation and contracts and finding different things. And I'm not creative like that. I'm very hands-on with what I do. So a lot of the events I started running security for and managing and just, doing little things like that. You know what I'm saying? Things that when you're creative, it's hard sometimes to get involved with the business. So he's creating, he's thinking ideas and he's thinking of, DJs and decorations and this, that, and the third. And I'm just like, look, give him 4 walls and put some music on, we'll be fine. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, then I started making sure the money was right, making sure that the people, the staff was good or whatever. And so we had this real conversation. And I was like, well, I went to the Quran. And when we go into business, we should always enter in a contract, no matter who it is. So I told him, I was like, well, brother, I said, give me a contract offer. And I'm one of them people that I will let you take advantage of me because I know that you're doing it. So to me, you're not taking advantage of me. I'm really just wanting to see who you are. Like, I really just want to. So now I know that's how you are. Rather, it's because everybody don't mean it in a bad way. Some people just raise like that. So I told him to give me a contract and we was talking some numbers and joking around or whatever. And I really just wanted to see what he thought I was worth to him and what I do, because I know what I'm doing for you. But I don't know if you understand it or if you think I'm dumb and I don't understand it. So he came back, and mind you, he had just got married after this point, right? And he was like, I can't give you 50%. I got my wife, this is gonna be our company, whatever. So he gave me 25% of the company, in my name and like take home gross, whatever. So I was like, yeah, that'll work. That's definitely fair. You know what I'm saying? So from that day on, we've been business partners. And outside of being business partners, like I said, that's one of my best friends. His family's my family. It's his son's birthday's today. My birthday's tomorrow. So I always mess with his son about he stole my birthday. I don't appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? Because he's a little cute, half Asian, half black kid. I ain't, you know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. But yeah, that was my involvement in BMW Entertainment. My bad, Josh. My laptop about to die. Hold on one more second.
Yes, Ronald's crying again. So listen, I want to thank everybody. Speaking of business, I want to make sure that we promote all of, because I got questions, 3 more questions for you, Brother Ronald. But I want to make sure that we promote all of our sponsors from this month's episode. And thank you all for liking, sharing, and subscribing on the People's Podcast. That means a lot to us. Cash App, $, the People's Podcast. Thank you all very much. Okay, of course, it's acting up right now. God. 1 second. Boom. 1 second. Boom, as we promote. All righty. Thank you all. 1 second. I gotta get this. See what I'm saying, right? Your stuff start messing up, making mine start acting up. All righty. 1 second for all the sponsors. I want to thank everybody. There we go. Boom. Come on, man. Here we go. Come on with the sponsorship. 1 second. All of the sponsors from this week's episode, starting with, and there we go. Street Premiere. Wherever you at. Okay, hold on 1 second, Ronald. God dang it. There we go. Let me just scroll up. There we go. Boom. Street Premiere, 4K cameras, all of the work that you do with Jamal, Rashad, 4K cameras, video. I cannot do it without you all. Sponsorship of the year. Y'all did it up front. I'm not going to deal with that right now. Boom. My sister Miriam's children's book, ABC I Love Me and Coloring Book. Thank you very much, Mimi. It's on Amazon. Thank you all for your continued support. I'm going to fix this slideshow as soon as I get finished. Stay on Point Dance Academy, LLC. My sister Naima teaching ballet to girls all across the world. Thank you very much. Our brother in St. Louis, Supreme Men's Clothing and Fashion. Thank you very much for your support. If you all want to get fresh, please reach out to our brother. BMW Entertainment. Brother Ronald right here live on the show. Thank you for your sponsorship.
Hey, watch out now.
Raising Black Millionaire, Sister Tia Muhammad, teaching economic empowerment and development to young Black children. Brother Kenneth Muhammad, Bowtie Maker Extraordinaire. Thank you very much, Brother Kenneth, for always stepping in and showing love. Our brother Todd X McGraw, his insurance group. Thank you very much for your support. Let's make sure out to Brother Todd to get some insurance. Exodus, a new way of life, credit restoration. If you need your credit down, I'm trying to get my credit score up. Reach out to our people. Also, Colleagues Boutique, thank you for your shirt. They do custom shirts and they are always on time, do a great job. Boom. Our brother Chantel X, the Express and the X and the Express. Thank you for your refrigerating and your shipping. Anything that you all need shipped on a big, truck. Reach out to our brother Jabbar Muhammad out of Chicago, Client First Construction. In carpentry, flooring, plumbing, etc. Thank you very much, Brother Jabbar. Let's support our brother if you're in the Chicago area. Sister, I'm coming right back to you, Brother Ronald. Sister Landra L. Muhammad, Navy Beans, More Than Bean Pot. Thank you very much, Sister Landra L. Muhammad. Dr. Henry M. Carter, thank you very much for your sponsorship of King Henry Turkey Legs. If you're in Atlanta, come get some turkey legs. They taste very good. Our sister who does home decoration and home decor, thank you for always looking out. And if you all need to, hook your new spots up, she can do it very, very well. Brother Rashad Muhammad out of Chicago, COVID-19 cleaning company and disinfecting company. Wish you nothing but the best, Brother Rashad. I want everybody to support you. If you're in Chicago, everybody tap in and support Brother Rashad. My father's book, A Soldier in the Movement of Christ, AbdulSharif.com. Thank you very much, Dad. Last but not least, my two books, No Father, No Excuse, Cleopatra. They're both on Amazon. Thank you all. I guess nerve-wracking sometimes you be up here trying to promote. Thank you, Brother Ronald, for your support of my book. Oh, wait. Okay, anyway. Thank you very much, Sister Love It. And Sister Rabia says, get it together. Yes, Rabia, I'm working on it, girl. God.
Sister Rabia. I don't know if you tuned in when Brother Reza was on, but he didn't make them kind of mistakes when Reza was on. Like, it is moves into the ads, you know what I'm saying?
That sponsorship thing, my slideshow, I don't know why it's acting up right now. Brother Ronald, what do you do for fun?
I'm getting old now, so my knees don't move like they used to. But normally my answer easy would be basketball. But now I really just enjoy family. Like, and when I say family, my extended family, my friends, getting our kids together. I mean, shout out to Brother Hakeem, who him and his beautiful wife and sister-in-law and took me skiing before for the first time. Well, I didn't go skiing, I went snowboarding. Incredible time. Game nights and things of that nature. Just getting together and, food and family and watching the game or whatever it may be. But just really spending time with the people that you care about. One thing I'm learning in my years is a lot of times we can spend too much time on people that don't care for us or care about us. You know what I'm saying? So being around those that do care about you, that's important to me. You know what I'm saying? So you can catch Brother Run on the boat. You can catch me traveling a lot. You know what I'm saying? I like to get up and get out and get away. I'm at an undisclosed location as we speak. Um, you know, you gotta move, man. You gotta move.
Okay, so basically you're saying like an infomercial saying I'm a Virgo, I'll take long walks in the park. We get it. That's beautiful, Ronald. Uh, behind me, I have. I know you said behind me, I have some of the albums that are my favorite albums of all time. Some albums that personally impacted me. What album would you, if you could choose one album of your choice that you say is your favorite album or album that represents you? What album would you choose?
All eyes on me, hands down. With
Mm.
Machiavelli being a part of it as well. Tupac was my biggest inspiration growing up outside of the nation. I named my son Shakur after him. No, it didn't have no deep Muslim reference. I found out what it meant later, so that worked. You know what I'm saying? But I named him after, I named him after Tupac. You know what I mean? Yeah. To All Eyes on Me, Machiavelli. I used to get hyped before my high school games listening to Tupac. You Can't See Me. Like I just forever and a day. And right now I can listen to it, no problems. Put it on, I'm good, no skips. We riding.
Okay, excellent. Around from what I know of you and from what people have seen of your social media, people say, you know, like my life is like a movie. Your life is like a movie. Would you ever write a book about your life?
Nah, because I don't really read books. You know, I don't see my life like a movie at all, to be honest with you, Josh. I think that if I was to give somebody advice on their life, I would just tell them to enjoy it. Um, Maybe I've been around a lot of death like the last 3-4 years, and young people, friends of mine, people that I was close to, and it's like, you know, once you gone, man, and you know, you look at some of the people um, that have passed away that did get into their later years. You know, my condolences to you and your family on the passing of your mother. You know, the little bit I know of her, she lived a beautiful life. The work she did, the travel she did, you know, finding out that she would pick y'all up in y'all pajamas and just ride out. You know what I'm saying? That's something that you got to enjoy those moments. You know what I'm saying? You know, brother Rahman, you know what I'm saying, traveling the world with Muhammad Ali and working and, you know, and not that something famous has to be attached to it or whatever, but just, you know, enjoying, you know, the moments. I picked brother Rahman up one time. His ex-wife had passed here in Phoenix, and he was coming to the funeral, and he said, you know, I regret her letting her get away, and he should have spent more time with him and his family. That was one of his regrets. So, you know, for me, especially with my children and mother passing, you know, we'll find time to get busy, and it doesn't always have to be a bad thing. You could be busy doing what you got to do, like it happens. You know what I'm saying? But when you have those moments, you know, share them. You know what I'm saying? My son is he really is my best friend, and it's funny because I can come home tired or something, and he will not shut up. I just be like, boy, what is wrong with you? Like, I ain't been gone that long. You know what I'm saying? But it's, oh, Dad, did you see they got a new video game update? Or, oh, Dad, did you hear that such and such and such? And, oh, Dad, I'd be like, boy, relax. Like, you know what I'm saying? But he, at this point in my life or his life, I'm his hero. And you can't take that kind of stuff for granted. You know what I'm saying? I didn't choose to be nobody's hero. I didn't want to be nobody's hero, but I'm his. So because of that, you know, I'm my daughter's male influence. So because of that, how I talk, how I treat people in front of her, they watching that, they soaking that stuff up, man. So, you know, I want them to see me happy and enjoying. I don't want them to see me stressed. Like, true story. And my parents worked their butt off, don't get it twisted. But when I was younger, I used to tell my siblings, I don't want to live past 35. And they would look at me like I was crazy. And I was like, all I've seen mom and dad do since they've been 35 is work. Like, they don't travel enough. They don't enjoy what they're doing. Like, I don't want to be that person that just always has to clock in and come home, you know, to spaghetti and Martin reruns. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to live like that. You know what I'm saying? So, not that that's, you know, not a bad Wednesday, but hey, you know what I'm saying? I want more. So, live, enjoy, travel. You know, people think traveling is so expensive. It's really not. You just got to do it and plan it the right way. And everything doesn't have to be what you see on Instagram and Facebook and stuff, man. Ain't nothing wrong with a trip to the Grand Canyon or a trip to the mountains or a trip to the lake. Like it's nothing. You don't have to go to Dubai. That's not. You know what I'm saying? Like that's cool, but that's not traveling. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not. There's so much more to this world. Allah, God, Yahweh, Buddha, Jesus, whatever you subscribe to, did an incredible job on this planet. Like pine cones are amazing if you really study them. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a lot of beauty in this world. Just take some time to look at it, man.
Beautiful. Okay. We're around dropping jewels. Latita D. Barnes says planning is everything. So Rabia says yes, children will talk ears off. Naima and Rabia both said all praises to Allah. Mimi said that you were ignorant for your comment about ignorant, to quote ignorant. Were you saying you didn't read? She said facts. Mimi says facts about the traveling thing. So, but Ronald, are you saying you don't have to get flued out to enjoy yourself to some to like some island or something? You can enjoy yourself locally.
First of all, I'm key on words. You said you don't have to get flown out, so.
Oh, now you're reading.
Yeah, I'm not. Ain't nobody ever flew me out nowhere, and I definitely ain't flying nobody out. Okay. But no, absolutely not, man. Like it's like I said, and I, my parents, they weren't these type of parents with me. My dad was building his own business when I was growing up. So he was gone a lot, and my mother is not My mother don't care about games. She'll act like she care about nature, but she don't. My mother is a worm nerd. Like if she had her piece, she would have a dark room with a library and a 7-Up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's it. Like she wouldn't, you know what I'm saying? So we didn't go to parks and wilderness. And if we did it, it was like forced. Like my dad took us to the Grand Canyon so we can say we went, but we didn't know what to do when we got there. We just looked at a big old hole and then we left. You know what I'm saying? So it's a little different. You know what I'm saying? It's different. Like you got to really go enjoy and experience, and you'll be surprised because when you're little, that kind of stuff matters. Talking to my children about the star, and I don't know nothing about it, but just having a conversation with them about it and what they think they are and stuff is amazing. Like what they think of. So, enjoy it. It's a lot out here, man. Everything don't have to be around Magic City, Josh.
Absolutely, Brother Ronald. And Sister Latika says, OMG, Naima's laughing, right? Sister Latika saying, indeed, right. Mimi saying, facts, praise be Allah. Beautiful. Brother Ronald, one last question that we ask all of our illustrious guests. What do you want your legacy to be?
So before this podcast started, you told me don't be trying to guess the question. So I'll have to say I knew you was going to say that just because that's in my nature to be rebellious. But even though I knew you was going to say that, I've watched. I can't say all of your shows, but maybe 85%. You know what I'm saying? You do a lot. You do a lot, brother. And our time zones is different. It's like 4 o'clock in the afternoon over there. It's 10 over here. Like it's different, man. Like man, you start early and stuff. I gotta get up. Whatever. But I don't know. I think if I really think about my legacy, I want my legacy to be that I was able to be a Muslim in the world with everybody else. And what I mean by that is, sometimes we feel like you got to conform. And I never really understood that or like that. I don't want to conform. My ex-wife wasn't Muslim when we got married. She converted later, but I didn't, my thought process was never, I need her to be like me. I need her to be Muslim like me. I need her to do what I do. I find beauty in other religions, other cultures, other things, but I want them to respect and find beauty in mine as well. So in the world of Islam, where we have been terrorists, we have been hate mongers, we're racists, we're all these things, I just want to show, no, Brother Ronald is cool than a fan. Like, he a good dude, but yeah, he's a Muslim. Like, yeah, undoubtedly a Muslim. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, raise his children as a Muslim. Like, and he didn't have to be weird about it. He didn't have to be, whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to call nobody weird. That's I don't want to do that either. I'm just saying, we live in a world where we don't get the respect we get the respect out of fear and out of what we've done for the community, which is great. We don't get the respect just as members of the society. It's almost like we isolated ourselves from the rest of the world. But no, right in the middle of all this, there's Muslims, there's Christians, there's Jews, there's Catholics, there's whites, there's blacks, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna respect you doing what you're doing. One of the things that Tupac said in an interview one time was when he was in jail, the person that he talked to and got along with the most was a member of the Klan or the KKK or the Nazis or whatever. And he said the reason is because he lived his truth. I knew he didn't like me. He knew I didn't, or he knew that he didn't like him, and he would ask why and understanding why he felt the way he did about black people or whatever in the world. You know what I'm saying? Regardless if I agree with you or not, if I know your truth, I can respect it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that I just want that respect as a Muslim and for my beliefs and my, you know, I have friends. I'm going to a birthday party later today, and I'm gonna get there, and they're gonna be like, "Yo, you can eat everything but this because this has pork in it." I love that kind of stuff, man. Or I didn't. Oh yeah, I just got cheese pizza because I knew you guys were coming. I didn't want to make sure, you know. So not that I want nobody to change it again for me, but it's like that love and respect that you have. Because it's awkward when you go somewhere and it's like, oh no, I can't eat that because I just can't. And everybody's having a good old time at the team pizza party and they order their pepperoni pizzas and you just like, yeah, I'm cool. Well, just peel it off. I don't want to explain to you why I'm not peeling it off. I don't want to explain to you why I'm just not going to do it. You know what I'm saying? We've all been there. You know what I'm saying? So I just like that. My legacy is to be like, yo, he was a brother. He was a cool brother. He was a cool Muslim. He was, but as a Muslim, not just a cool brother, but as a Muslim, like, yo, I didn't know y'all was like this. This is what's up.
Beautiful. And I think that you have done a great job in helping your early days. We want you to live, long, establishing your legacy. Thank you, Brother Ronald, for being known for being a top 5 alumnus, a great father, man, a son to your parents, and we are praying for your father and your family. We have nothing but love for you on behalf of myself and my family. I just want you to, stay in the gym and don't let that jump shot, get whacked because, you know what I'm saying? You come to Atlanta, ain't nothing but smoke down here. That's what I'm just letting y'all know. If y'all didn't know, Brother Joshua's been a point guard, for quite some time, and Ronald has refused to play me in basketball, but it's all good, though. We ain't tripping, though. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, see, brother, you did such a wonderful job. You start mixing truth with falsehood, brother, and it all goes left, man. But honestly, I'll be 37, Allah willing, tomorrow, and it's a blessing to see us grow up, to see what we become, and to see us grow into our own. One thing about working with the youth is you get to see them mature, and it's kind of cool to see. And we all had our bumps and bruises. We've all had our scrapes, you know what I'm saying? And to see us now develop into who we are. And one of the saddest things is when we lose our people young and they don't get to be who they are. You know what I'm saying? Like, people talk about Tupac dying at 23, 25 years old, whatever it was. Who knows what he would be doing right now? Who knows, what, not just musically, just activism wise, like who knows, you know what I'm saying? Anybody that, we lose like that tragically, who knows what they can become. So it's beautiful to see, I look and I say, oh man, Joshua, his family, moving, creating, living up to your parents' legacy is amazing, man. And I got much love for your family. I never met your sisters. Me and Rashad is cool as I don't know what. You a good dude. Your father reached out to my pops without even knowing who my pops was in the hospital, and then called back 2 days later to make sure he was okay, and then checked me on making sure that I told him that he called back because he wanted, you know what I'm saying? So it's it's beautiful to see what we become and how we grow. And man, I love you, Brother Josh. You my guy. I love what you're doing with the podcast. I love your recounts of history, man. And your family's a beautiful family. We waiting for you to, settle down, get your kids.
I'm about to move.
I hate to use this card, but we all know that's what your mother wanted, man. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying, brother? You talking about me looking for love, Bruck, man. Like, hey, it's time, brother. It's time.
Oh, is that what we're doing right now? Sister Lovett says, all praises to Allah, happy birthday. Mimi says, happy birthday. So Latika,
Thank y'all.
said she didn't know. I guess she was talking about your birthday. Naima says facts. BB's laughing at you. Latika D. Barnes says facts. Okay, whatever. Apparently, people think that it is time for you, Ronald, as well. Also, thank y'all. I look forward to.
No one said that, brother. No one said that.
I have a new episode coming up in an hour with a sister from London, Sister Anita Muhammad. So stay tuned. Thank you, Brother Ronald, for tapping in today. May Allah bless you and your family.
Hey, I got one more question though, Josh.
Yes, sir.
I think I asked you before, man. You let your sister interview, and it was great, but it wasn't raw like Brother Ronald would do it, man. When you gonna let me interview you, Josh?
Man, listen, I got a project coming up. That's gonna be close to Christmas time, New Year's. I'm gonna let you interview me then, inshallah. We
don't celebrate Christmas, brother, but okay.
I know, but I'm selling something. So it's gonna be something I'm selling, so I gotta get that season. You know what I'm saying? I gotta get that season, you know what I mean? So it's gonna be something I'm promoting. Yes, sir, so all right, thank y'all for watching People's Podcast. Bro Ronald, you are single, right? Because it seems like people want to know.
Didn't nobody ask that question, Josh. Didn't nobody ask that question, Josh.
All right, so welcome, family.
An unrighteous man brings you unrighteous news, brother. Boy, I tell you.